Congress. And so she has a good enough network where she won't run out of money. But I just think that they have tried to just literally legislate her out of Congress because she's one of the people that they may be afraid of in a sense.
Mm. And there's another last question I have. So, just recently, like an hour ago, I seen a thing about the black the business labor statistic chief being fired. Are you aware of that? Because of the lackluster thing of the labor and this that there. Are you aware of that?
I've heard that they were thinking about doing it, but I think Trump is doing it because uh, there's this thing called stat jugging. Y'all know what that is? Stat jugging is trying to make the stats look like they're better than they actually are. I get that term from watching the show The Wire and in the way that they reported crime and the way that they were being directed to report crime. So there's a way you can stat jug the labor statistics to report to the public that won't look as bad. And I don't think that Trump appreciated maybe that particular person telling the truth about where we were job wise. And I think that's why he's doing that. So that's my answer to that one.
Wow, that I didn't even know that there was that was a such thing as stat jugging. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. And one last question. So with the current situation with the Carmelo Anthony case, have you seen any changes in the group of people that are like helping that family out, or is it like?
I think they're going to be able to help less because they can't say anything. So if I'm helping you, my words is really what I'm doing to help you. I'm really managing media, but I got a gag order, so I can't say a thing. So I think a lot of that talk and a lot of the extra stuff going around is going to stop. I just think that family needs to get with their lawyer. They need to try to take whatever resources they have to make sure they're safe and prepare for trial with not a word coming out, with no information being leaked, with no positions being leaked. And I think that's what's going to be best for them, to be quiet and prepare and gain as much information as possible to try to give that attorney, Mr. Mike Howard, the best opportunity to succeed.
And one last question. So there was a whole thing about like that GoFundMe, right? So a part of like them being able to raise as much money as they had was because of like the outcry of the community. Have they anything new been like said about the GoFundMe, about releasing the funds, or is it just like that's just going to still be up in the air?
I think it's still going to be up in the air. I think they're going to release the funds because part of it is being able to survive. Neither parent can work right now. And because of the safety issues that Mr. Anthony is going to incur, it's more than just legal fees. He's going to have to remain safe until he can get to trial. But that's just what it is. Genesis, give me some other, because I want to make sure we add all these people in here. Give me some other folks that got some questions so we can get on top of this. We can answer everybody's questions so they don't be asking us this later on.
I got another question for you.
Okay, let's go.
You know what? I want to ask you, do you think what's going on with Trump right now, because we can get back on Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay if I ask a Trump question?
Sure.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, like, what's going on with Trump? Do you think there was any malicious intent with Trump writing a bill a little over a week ago, trying to do something for us to minimize what's going on in the country with homelessness? Because I kind of compare homelessness in the country to immigration, illegal. Mm-hmm. I can kind of add those neck and neck to each other because we got an influx of immigration and we have an influx of homelessness. And do you think he did any of that to coincide with each other? Or do you think he's really trying to bring a change to our nation so we can bring back, I apologize, so we can black back America?
Well, I think one of the things we have, immigration and homelessness, I think the two separate issues, number one.
Yes.
But number two, I think there is a homeless problem. And there are times I feel like we're not doing enough about it. And I think that we're not being smart about it. And I think that you have to categorize homelessness because you have some people that choose to be homeless.
Right.
You have some people that are homeless because they have mental problems. And then you have some people that are homeless just because they do have jobs but those jobs can't pay their bills, and it's creating a situation where they can't afford to be able to live. And I think you have to categorize those things and start to deal with them. And unfortunately, and I will say this, the Democratic Party has to do a better job of figuring out how to attack those things, because when we were in power, I don't think we did a good enough job at that. And I think we need to be willing to listen to alternative ideas to deal with homelessness. And so I don't think Trump was doing something weird about pointing that out. But I do think that because of his position of being extremely wealthy, there is a lack of understanding that I think he has of homelessness itself, because there are three different types of homelessness. There's voluntary homelessness, homelessness because of mental and drug problems, and homelessness because people just don't have enough money, even after they work, to pay the bills, to remain, to have shelter. So that's just what my ideas on those things are.
I agree with you on that.
So are you aware of the bill that Trump put out where it says that he's going to put them into mental facilities, the homeless people?
Well, I thought he made like a more of an executive order of trying to do those things. I don't know how well that's going to work because you have a lot of different entities that control homelessness inside of cities. You have states, you have cities, and you have local health departments or homelessness departments that have to all coincide and work with Mr. Trump to make that happen. And I think that the unfortunate part of what Mr. Trump is doing, and I do not like this, I live in a city, I live in Dallas, and I feel like he's attacked cities that have Democratic mayors, or that he's attacked cities that have high minority populations or that vote Democratic. And I don't think that that's something that I'm down with. I don't like that at all. And when I say he's attacking them, he's putting in policies and taking aid away and doing things like that. I don't think that that's not what he should be doing, to be honest with you. I don't like, that's not a good look for us. It's not a good look for us as a country, and I don't think he should be doing that.
Mm.
They want to make the city seem like they some cesspool, and that's just not the case. I mean, we have problems, and we're bearing the brunt of a lot of problems. Not even in Texas, people don't want to live in the country no more. Here, they want to come and live in the city.
Right.
So now the problems are in the city. Now you're trying to say it's all our fault. No, it's not like that. I mean, you know, some of those folks we didn't want in the city, but they came here because they can't make it where they were living.
Okay.
That's my attitude. That's my question. That's my answer to that question.
Okay. Anybody else want to join?
Anybody else? You got somebody else coming up?
I'm still waiting on them to come up, but I want to ask one quick question. So, say if he does this executive order does go through, and some people do end up in prisons versus being put into mental facilities. You're a criminal lawyer. Would you be able to work with those families to be able to get them either out of that situation?
I don't think he's gonna be just going people, just sending people straight. You can't do that. You got to charge them something. You just can't lock them up. Number one, that's not going to happen. Number two, as a lawyer, if somebody has a mental problem and they're mentally unable to communicate with their attorney, you can't, as an attorney, I can ask them what they want to do. They have to go to a mental facility because they're not in their right mind. And I can't ask somebody who's not in their right mind to make a decision on a case. I can't. So there's going to have to be some evaluation put in place. There's going to have to be a plan put in place. They still are entitled to due process. So those things are not going to happen. I think that we got to be extremely careful, right? In terms of some of the fear that people put out here that they think he's going to be able to do. These executive orders, they have some power, but they can't go in and do all the stuff he wants to do just like that. There's layers that sometime are going to stop that. Thank God that there are layers.
Right.
Because he thinks that everything is simple and easy, and in life it's just not.
Yeah. And you know what? I wanted to ask you too, Calvin. Do you think if Trump, I'm going to get on P. Diddy as my last question, because I know you're tired of the politics of Trump in one way and the other. But I want to ask you, so do you think with what's going on with P. Diddy, once he gets sentenced, if Trump allows him the freedom to walk, do you think that will open up the doors to speculations about certain things, especially when it comes in regards to this Jeffrey Epstein situation?
I don't think he's going to pardon Diddy because I think Diddy was part of Rock the Vote, He was actually part of the Democratic machine, and I know that Diddy's probably said some things that Mr. Trump has not liked, and so I don't think he's going to pardon him, and I don't think he considers Diddy as useful. When I say Diddy is useful, when he pardoned, I think he pardoned Kodak Black, and I think he pardoned Lil Wayne, and I think he considered those folks useful to him.
Right.
I don't think he considers Diddy to be useful when it comes to that. So but when it comes to Trump and Epstein, there is something there, and I'm no fool. And that's just like I should say, there's something going on with him and Putin. Say what you want to say, but he's always ultra aggressive towards everybody else except for Vladimir. And so with a guy like that, something's going on there. Number one. Number two, there's also something going on with him and Epstein, and because it's just I hate to say it, we saw it. I remember when the young girls was coming down the escalator, the way Trump was looking at them, and I remember all of that stuff, and I just go like, they're in the back of everybody's mind, MAGA or not, even the MAGA folks that's on this, y'all thinking about it. Come on, now. Y'all got to come on in. Y'all are thinking about it. So that's something that I would look at it, but I don't think he's gonna pardon Diddy. I think that Diddy has said some things about him in the past that he ain't gonna let go. Trump petty.
Yeah.
Trump is 50 cent level petty. So
he's so petty he'll make $1 out of a quarter.
You listen, he's 50 cent level petty. And then so y'all know what that means.
And because he's so petty, Calvin and Mel, because he's so petty, some people are not gonna like what I'm about to say, but to an extent, I'm kind of feeling that pettiness because I know we got to admit we all got pettiness in us. We got all I could be very listen. Hey, one thing about it, if you don't tell the truth, they're gonna get you and they're gonna squish you. Say that ain't what you said last time. So I like the fact that he petty because one thing about it, two things for sure. When I'm trying to get across to what I'm trying to say, and I don't want to play games with you like Carmelo Anthony, I'm not gonna play with them. When it's that time, y'all gonna think I'm the president of this country if that attorney don't get it right, and I mean it. But listen, he's so petty until I enjoy his pettiness, because I feel like what we need to do, if it wasn't for somebody like him, we would have so much emotions on the table right now. We would never be able to see a road ahead of us. We were so swamped in so much dust and dirt on top of us until we didn't know which way we were going. So imagine, to me, emotions is clearing our playing fields a little bit.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this too. I understand being petty because I'm not gonna lie, I can be petty at times. And then I got a lot of people say what you want. I got a lot of respect for 50. I respect 50. Number one, shout out to 50. Shout out to one of my former clients, DJ Chaotic, who is 50 Cent's DJ right now. And the story of that, just that he was friends with 50 growing up, moved to Texas, went to Chicago for a while, moved to Texas, was DJing down here. And when the 50 lost his DJ, he called him, put him back in the fold. And so I got respect for people that remember their folks, man. I mean, he went and got my boy, man. So listen, I got respect for him. I respect the fact he did the BMF series. I love watching that, and I love what he's done. So, but I understand that. But at the same time, when it comes to Trump and Diddy, I don't think that Trump is going to show Diddy any love because of the stuff that has happened in the past. But I am concerned about the look of the Epstein stuff. I think we all talk about it. And you'd be a fool to not think that there's something there, because if there wasn't anything there, they would just release it. And if it was something there to just make the Democrats look bad, he damn sure would release it. He released it in all caps. So that's just what I'm thinking.
Well, I'm glad you admitted that we both know how to be petty, because I know one thing about it, two things for sure. I wouldn't be able to defend you if I couldn't be petty.
I'm telling you.
They tell me all the time when I go to talk and they say I get tedious. I say, well, what you think of self-defense is? What do you think the word defense means? You got to be petty in order to carry that title the right way. You got to have some strength behind being petty.
And sometimes you have to do it. Like, it is what it is, y'all. But listen, I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you for coming through again. Yes. I got to get back to these questions because people get mad and say, you're not answering my questions. So, but listen, I pull some of the comments up, Genesis. What we got? I want to look at some of the stuff in the comments box. I want to see what we got.
Barry says Trump has nothing to do with P. Diddy.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, he's not gonna have anything to do with it because he's definitely not gonna pardon him. He's not gonna. He did it. He's not he's not going to pardon him. That's one thing we know. And so he's going to stay away. I think he's going to stay away from that whole situation because of what he's accused of, number one, and the fact that he said some negative things of P. Diddy in the past.
All right. Wiley Coyote says, here we go with the liberal Black Lives Matter SHIT.
You know, the same thing. This is what I try to tell people. When you come on this podcast, Wiley Coyote, I wish you the best, bro. I am not a BLM kind of guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I definitely think that my people matter, but I think that as an organization has some issues with it, the way that they spent their money. And I think the way that they push people buttons at times may have not been something that I was in favor of. But at the same time, just because I'm telling the truth about Trump, you can't get mad about that because I'm not myopic. If somebody tells me that they have these files and they're going to release them, and then I see a big stack of files on the table on the damn newscast, and then all of a sudden somebody tells me there's no files. When you showed me some files on the podcast, I'm not going to play games with that. This ain't no Black Lives Matter situation. It's just a matter of him telling us the damn truth or not. If your name is in them files, then just tell us. But don't try to act like that somehow the files are gone or try to call somebody Black Lives Matter because you don't want to answer the question. The answer to the question is, does Trump have something to do with Epstein? If you have the files and you don't release them, then you're not releasing them. That's just point blank. It ain't got nothing to do with BLM or whether I'm liberal or, which I'm not. I'm not 100% person of Black Lives Matter because I think that is an issue. But at the same time, I don't like the way that they handle the money and they handle themselves in terms of dealing with our issues. So I'm neither. And so when it comes down to it, I just tell the damn truth. If somebody tells me they're going to show me something and then they don't show it to me, then they're not telling me the damn truth. And sometimes when you tell some of them folks that are myopic, that support Mr. Trump, they don't want to hear that. But I'm here to tell you that, hey, it is what it is. I like some of the stuff he's done. A lot of the stuff I'm not in favor of. And I'm damn sure not in favor of somebody who was involved with a pedophile who says that they're going to release some papers and they don't give them to us. I don't like that at all.
Okay. Barry says, because NGO were stealing money, not helping at all. And Graham says the difference between Trump and Diddy is probably the baby oil.
You know what? You know what? That might be the post of the day, right?
All right. The 7 says we need compassionate policies.
You know what? I'll tell y'all this. We do need compassionate policies. But I think we need common sense policies and we need compassionate policies. I think what's happening is I think that we got to start using common sense when we deal with politics and we deal with solutions. I think every solution that's being made right now is far left or far right. And I think that people in the middle that have common sense need to stand up and tell the people on the right, y'all crazy, and tell the people that's a far left that y'all crazy. And we need to pull this thing together and come out with some agreement that's going to work for everybody or work for the majority of us and be done with it. Everybody's not going to always get what they want. Right now, we have a system that 4 years, the right gets what they want. The next 4 years, the left gets what they want. And eventually, the middle gets nothing. And then we're going to have a problem.
I think that's Donald Trump's theme song, right? You don't always get what you want. Kevin Kev says Trump is a dud. He has done nothing but fire more people than any other president.
And my concerns with Trump is, and when he gets rid of a lot of people in the federal government, and I said this earlier in our cast, if you didn't catch the first half of it, is when you're running a business and running a government are two separate things. A business is there to make money. And so you have to make all your decisions on whether you're going to make money or not. To me, government, a lot of government's responsibility is to provide safety and essential services. And then when you don't do something as a government, what happens to me is that when those safety and essential services are not provided, then you fail. And the cost of the failure sometimes goes way beyond money. It can fail systems and it can fail your country. So I think that when you're running a business and you're always talking about money, it's one thing. But when you're running the government, you can't always talk about how much it costs to provide a particular service, that service has to be provided regardless of cost sometimes.
Okay.
Hey,
Barry says that California is a great example that money hasn't fixed homelessness.
I agree. They put a lot of money into it, and it just seems like, to me, from what I hear, and it's ended up in the wrong people's pockets. That's just my take on it.
Okay, go ahead, Jen.
Seven asked a question really earlier up in the stream, so I just wanted to he asked, could we address his question? So I just want to
Okay, what question you got?
He'll have to.
It's at the top. It says, "Do you see that?" I only want to ask if it's at all possible for the U.S. to split or balkanize, or does the U.S. Constitution prohibit this completely?
This country is not going to split. I think that you have some parts of it that don't agree with the other parts, what the other part is doing. But I think as a country, we're not going to split. I think we're going to continue to fight, and we have to continue to remain a country. I think we're too intertwined to actually be able to split, because we have so many essential services that are tied up in some states that affect other states. And I don't think that's the way to approach it. I think we got to have people that are willing not to always be far right and far left. And I think that's what my solution would be, not to always be far right or far left. You got to have some meeting in the middle. You got to have some compromise. You got to have some common sense type decisions. And I think that a lot of people are afraid to say what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it. And that's just what I believe in.
Okay. Ann Graham says, why would Black people think Trump is better for Black people than Obama or Kamala?
Y'all want me to? I almost said something. Where we at right now? I think it's as bad as it's ever been. And I think we had Obama for president for a number of years, and then we had Kamala as vice president after Obama left, after we had 4 years of Trump. And I think that we have to stop looking at who's president to decide how good we are going to be. And when I say that, I mean, yes, it's important to have the Oval Office support your people. But I think as Black people, we have to start figuring out how we are going to survive, how we're going to prosper, regardless of who the president is. Because I think that we are relying on the political parties to do something for us that I think that they have both failed to do, which is to uplift our community, because you have one side who has an extremely racist wing that I can't be a part of. And then you have the other side who has continuously been in power, and it doesn't seem like things are getting better. And so that's just my attitude. That's why a lot of people like myself have thought about, it's not just the people that are deciding to vote for Trump instead of voting for Democrats. I ran into a lot of brothers and sisters this time that just said they weren't going to vote, period. And they didn't. And that's the worst thing you want.
All right. Barry says Obama and Kamala are no good for anybody.
At the end of the day, and this is what I'll tell people, with Mr. Obama, I voted for him. I actually, when he was in Texas in Mesquite, I used to work for the teachers union, and me and the people at the teachers union, he wanted a teacher that had been laid off to introduce him at Eastfield College. And we were in the selection process, and we selected one of the teachers who I was representing who had lost her job, and she got to introduce the president. I got a front row seat to hear him speak at Eastfield College when he was down here in Texas. And he's extremely charismatic, and I think he meant well initially. But I think that as a Black man and for Black people, a lot of Black people are disappointed that we did not get further. And a lot of Black people feel like he advocated for other groups more than us. Even though he's supposed to be the president of everybody, it still seemed like he found a way to advocate for other groups that he helped that did not help us as much. And so that's one thing. And with Kamala, I think it's a different situation. To be honest with you, we didn't get to know her like I felt like she probably could have let us know her. And people don't like, what do you mean? I think that her being vice president, she was very introverted. She didn't come out a lot. And I also thought that when she ran for president, she spent most of her time talking about Trump and being anti-Trump as opposed to defining herself. And I used to tell people that they should get mad at me. So when it comes to those two issues, that's how I feel about it. And that's what a lot of people feel the way I feel. They just won't say it. But I'm here to say it for you.
Okay, thank you very much. Coolest says thinking that the Republican Party is racist. Okay.
I'm not saying that they're racist. Let me break this down to you so you understand. There are wings of that party that do have racists in it. Do not think that I'm calling all Republicans racist. No, I'm not. I know a great number of Republicans that I think are not racist. There are a number of Republican judges that I think that are extremely fair. I have friends that are Republicans and that are white that I definitely don't think are racist. But there is a racist element in one wing of their party that's there. So it's not one of those things where I'm called, oh, just because you're a Republican, you're a racist. No, it's not what I said. I'll put words in my mouth. But there is a wing or part of that party that feels like they don't want to have anything to do with anybody that's black or Hispanic or that are not like them. So that's just me telling the truth.
Okay. Fates Karma says, well, I'm getting my girl fighting cancer and going to this little flower park. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. All right. Thank you, Fates Karma. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. And sorry for what you're going through. we're
praying for you, and I hope that you beat cancer. I have a friend of mine who's a judge who's going through it now, and we're hoping that she continues to fight it off, and God bless you.
Okay. Gear Jammer says, praise Donald J. Trump, a living legend.
Well, you know what I'll tell you when it comes to that, and this is what I'll say, and a lot of people may get mad at me. There's a lot of stuff in this country that a lot of people looked at, especially the hot button issues of some of the stuff that was happening, and they felt like he was going to bring a sense of normalcy back to certain situations, and there are certain people that feel that way and that support those folks. And to support a lot of what he's doing. So I can definitely understand how they feel when it comes to that. But at the same time, I'm of the opinion if a man can't keep his word, if you're not paying people that do work for you, if you don't keep your word when you say you're going to release something and don't release it, I can't trust that person. So even though some people may like some of the stuff he's done, I can't really support him because I don't think he keeps his word when it comes to certain things, paying people. Epstein files, a few of the other things that have happened in the past. So I can't support that when somebody gives a word and they go back on it. And that's just my personal opinion. But I do see why there's an appeal to him, because there's a part of American history that felt like, and there's a part of America that felt like that normal America was getting away from them, and that Mr. Trump was going to bring that back, and that he was going to implement policies that bring a sense of normalcy back. And so I can say, hey, that's what that wing thinks and feels, and I can understand how they feel that way. I mean, it is what it is. I don't support that, but how they felt it.
George, please connect your camera and your mic. We see you in the back, but you're not connected. So connect your camera and your mic. It's probably through the browser. Something probably popped up asking you to connect both. That's why you can't be brought up until you connect those things. So you might either need to connect them or rejoin.
OG says, I agree. What if he's under pressure from bigger forces?
What do you mean? Trump under pressure for bigger forces?
Yes.
And well, I get that, and I understand that, but at the same time, you are president. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to stand for something. And I think that's the problem. I think everybody's kowtowing the bigger forces as opposed to really putting the people first. I used to tell people all the time, I said, even when I did run for office and I did not win, I was like, I'm just too raw. I'm too honest. I'm too unapologetic. I had somebody tell me that I'm too honest because I'll just tell folks what it is. And I'm not going to bow down to anybody's pressure. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to fold. I mean, that's just me. That's how I am. I'm solid. I'm not jello. So if you folding and you say you're a boss, you're a G, you don't fold. put the people first and make decisions that people put the people first. Until we have more politicians that's willing to lose to win, then that's just what it is.
Okay, Cooler says after Obama's presidency, a lot of white people did become racist when they weren't before.
There's a segment of our population that said that a lot of folks looked at Obama and the fact that he was a black man and in charge of the United States, it triggered them to the point where they did become somewhat anti-black. Some people were afraid of Mr. Obama having the power that he has, that he was actually a black man and having that much power in his hands. And let's be honest, this is America. This is 400 years of a particular system. It would shock the system to see a black man in charge of something, in charge of the entire country, in charge of having a red phone to press the button to launch a nuclear weapon, and in charge to be able to go get and kill Osama bin Laden, in charge to be able to control our military. There's a lot of people that just honestly believe that should never be a person of color. And it would trigger racism in some people. But that's not the only reason why I think they had a problem with Mr. Obama.
Okay, Doug March says, wow, that's how we feel about Democrats. There's a huge population of Democratic Party that's racist toward white people and Americans.
I'll say this to you, and at the end of the day, this is where it comes down to. You come from a situation upon which I hate to use the chains and whips references, but you have a history that people that know a history where a certain segment of African Americans were taken and controlled by chains and whips, and we ain't talking about cars and jewelry either. And so we understand that is part of the history, but that's a history that went on for hundreds of years, and so you can't expect a group of people not to feel a particular way after they go through a few hundred years of injustice, and a lot of the injustice still lives today. So I wouldn't call it racist. I would call it more, trying to be careful of dealing with them, trying to make sure that they're going to treat me fairly. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from. Now, are there wings of Democrats that come out and say that they don't like white people, just like there are wings of Republicans that say that they don't like black people? Yes, those people exist. They exist on both sides. But that's not who I am. That's not who I'm going to be. And I'm never going to be that person where I'm going to hate you because you white or you Republican. That's not what I do. I'm gonna treat you like you need to be treated based on how you treat me and you treat those that are important to me. That's just how I am. I'm not going to get caught up in what's happening out here in social media and all these cliques of people in these groups just to be accepted. I got to feel like I got to call somebody a demon rat or a libtard. It's like they call some Democrats or some of the crazy stuff that they say about Republicans. I'm not going to participate in that kind of stuff. To me, that's childish.
Right.
Okay, so thank you guys again for all the support. We'd like to ask you to hit the like button, share, and subscribe if you like the material. Calvin, could you give everyone an update on who you are and how they can contact you for the people that just came in?
Once again, I am attorney Calvin D. Johnson, 24 years practicing attorney here in Dallas, Texas. I do state, local, and federal criminal defense. I can be reached at attorneycalvindjohnson@gmail.com. I can be reached at one of the greatest websites out there, theywon'tletmeout.com. Or I can be reached at 214-565-5600. Like I said, I've been practicing criminal defense here in Dallas, Texas for 24 years. I'm a graduate of the great Howard Payne University, Yellow Jacket Stingham, where I majored in political science and history. I double majored there. And then I went to the great St. Mary's University School of Law in San Antonio, Texas, where I graduated and got out of law school and opened my own firm. So that's just who I am. And this is who we are. Of course, we have Mel watching the world. We have Queen, who is a frequent guest on our show, who was able to provide a little balance for us here, a little overbalance sometimes. But we enjoy her here. Like, we are real people, right? Mel's a real person. Queen's a real person. I'm a real person. DJ Genesis is a real person. So we real people. We enjoy having you guys watch us. Y'all continue to support us. We're going to continue to give you the truth. That's just what it is. That's what we're going to do. We're going from both sides. We're going to tell you the truth.
What else can we do?
Exactly. Exactly.
So you making me out to be that type of person, a little
Oh,
overbound?
no. Listen, you okay. Listen, you know what I'm going to tell you, Queen?
I love it.
You're passionate. And the one thing I'm going to tell you, you're not going to accomplish anything in life unless you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
Mel, you're passionate about making sure that you do this show and it's professional. Queen, you're passionate about taking your social issues up.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about the law.
Yep.
And the people that make their comments, they're passionate about their comments. And listen, just because I disagree,
I'm passionate about making sure the show runs smooth. Y'all.
Exactly.
I'm
You
in the
sure are.
background. Y'all
My
don't
bad.
think
My
it's me all
bad.
the time.
My bad. Coach put me in, right?
Listen, I gotta like speak up for myself. Listen, I'm the one keeping the show.
Yeah, you hooked us. You know what, Genesis, you hooked us up. We love you. We ain't got to say that. We know we love you. So
yeah,
that's just keeping it 100. GJ Genesis, once again, we always thank you. We always thank you for coming on and being our moderator. And I try to tell people, listen, this is a real show with real people. We have real experiences. We're dedicated to letting you know what's going on out here in the world. I'm here just to give my opinion. And one more thing, and I was saying this before we got into that, just because you disagree with me does not mean I hate you.
Exactly.
Just because I disagree with you does not mean that I got smoke or I won't smoke with you. That's just not what it is for me. We just disagree. We can move on. I mean, that's just what it is. And if you're that type of person who has to feel that way, man, God bless you. But I ain't got time for it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So I also want to make sure that we say thank you to Mashona. Mashona has really held down the comment section tonight. I want to give you guys an observation. At some point about 15 minutes ago in the show, we had like 30 different bots come into the chat. And I can't for the life of me understand the technology, but you could tell it's not actual people. And the comments are usually about appearance or racist or something derogatory. So I thought that was interesting. At one time, the numbers spiked up tremendously, and then we started getting all these vile comments. So anyway, thank you, Mashona, for holding that down. I appreciate all you do. And for the other moderators that we have too, thank you guys as well. Okay, back to you, Calvin.
One thing I'll tell y'all is this, listen, when we do this from a standpoint of just really giving you the raw answers and the raw feelings. You know, people like Queen, they feel the way they feel because they've experienced some things and they're very passionate about what they do. Mel's been out here reporting on stuff 100 miles an hour. So he's going to be real professional about what he does. He wants to make sure that the people get the information. He's passionate about that. DJ Genesis, who hooked us all up, and she's the one of our glue people who she's put us all together as a group, and because she knew each of us, we've been allowed to be together. She's passionate about making sure that this show runs and we continue to run it. And I'm passionate about the law, so I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that I explain stuff to folks. And I've had people in the past disagree with me about stuff just because they supported one side or the other. And I just tell them, I say, hey, look, we can disagree with each other, but I do what I do based on my experiences at the court. And so when I have people that I represent, I give them advice and they follow it. If you come on here disagreeing with me, great. If you come on here to continue to disagree with me, hey, I'm even great with that too, because you're somebody I probably would not represent because you're not going to be amenable to me telling you what you should do and you listening to it. I'm the type of guy where when I represent people, I want people to listen to my legal advice because I don't want you to blame me when it goes wrong, when you didn't listen to me on the top end. When you decide to do what you want to do, then you got to own your decision making. So that's just what it is. You don't get to tell me what to do and then get to blame me because what you told me to do didn't work. Don't work like that. That ain't life. So I'm just sharing this with everybody. That's just my take on everything. And it says, have you guys covered the recent letter from the defense, Gina standing with Diddy? Okay, listen, let me tell y'all something right now. My whole attitude toward the Diddy case, number one, I don't like what he did to Cassie. Nobody does. Nobody's justifying that. But to charge him with like RICO, to me, that was doing too much. Was he a little freaky? Yeah, but a lot of this stuff, do I think a lot of this stuff he did was criminal? No. But the law said you can't do certain things with certain people. You can't pay people to do certain things. I get that and I understand that. But to me, these are more individual crimes. This is not running a criminal organization. This is not a RICO. That's just my attitude. So that is what it is.
Understood. I love it.
All right. So we reached our time. We'll take closing comments from, I guess we'll start with Queen and then we'll go to DJ Genesis.
Okay.
Go ahead, Queen. Good.
All right. So I guess the only way I could wrap this up is to say that, I think if we're wanting to see any type of change in our nation, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about P. Diddy, it doesn't matter if we're talking about illegal immigrants, it honestly doesn't even matter if we're talking about homelessness. I think if we're going to get any type of resolve or we're going to get any type of resolution, the first thing that we have to do is we have to start taking emotions off the table. I mean, we've been emotional in this country from the last I remember, at least the last 24 years. And if I want to throw the truth in there about Democrats, they've been running the ranks of the country. I mean, aside from Trump taking his 4 years, then arrest. If we learn how to take emotions off the table, I think we'll start learning that there is a path that all of us can walk down, and we can see that there is a rainbow and a pot of gold if we just open up our eyes, pay attention, take emotions off the table. Because we've been emotional for so many years, how can you fight a war with emotions there? Sometimes you have to put that defense up and you have to go for what you know is right. And you got to fight for it, and don't let anybody take you down. Don't even let them bring you down. Stop looking at the name Republican. Stop looking at the title Democrat. Stop looking at party size altogether. Look at what you can see that's going to make a change. As a Republican, I'm not one, but even as Republicans supporting certain bills, Democrats supporting certain bills, you don't have to support a party size in order to move forward. What you need to support is each bill separately. And if that bill makes sense to you in your lifetime, then that's what you need to fight for. That's what you need to support. And those bills that don't make sense to you, you need to take those bills and listen and cuff their butts up. Sorry, I have to be respectful here, but you have to let them know, I'm gonna go for you on here, but I'm very two-faced. If you slip over there, I'm gonna get you. And that's where I'm at right now. And I'll turn the floor back over because I get very emotional in these particular moments.
Okay, DJ Genesis.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. As the producer of the show, I really want to give a shout out to the people that support. I want to get some more support as time goes on. People, get your cameras ready. I want to see some interaction with everybody. I want to see what you guys have to say. It's one thing to be in the comments. Go ahead, get your cameras ready and come up and talk to us. We're here to have the conversation. And number two, if you're on my side of the channel, please go and support Watching the World's channel. If you're on Watching the World's channel, okay, let me show you. This is his channel right here. If you're on mine, go ahead and like and subscribe his channel. If you're on his side, please come and support my channel as well, because listen, YouTube has been taking away my subscribers. I don't know why. So please like, subscribe, and hit the all notifications button, because if you don't, it will not do it. Also, Queen said so. Let me see. Where is her? Diddy said it. That's her channel. So please also support her channel. And then Calvin is broadcasting from Facebook. Please support his channel on Facebook. Is it Calvin Johnson on Facebook? How do we
Yeah, you say you can go to I'm with Calvin Johnson. You can look up Calvin D. Johnson, attorney at law. It'll usually come up. I have several Facebook channels. Of course, I got to get used to all this stuff, y'all.
Yes, I think that's his Facebook. If it's not, hit us up some way, and we'll get you his actual Facebook. Or just go to his website. We've been promoting it the whole time. They won't let me out. That's the main way to reach him. Mm-hmm. If you have a court case or whatever in Dallas and Texas at large, please hit him up. He's a very great lawyer. He's one of the best. Please continue to support him. And my last thing is I wanted to say is I'm really sad to hear about what Jasmine Crockett is facing. She has been, she's been shaking it up in the Congress, but I think people did not want to hear any people going against them. And I think that this dangerous when you see a person that's actually holding people to the task to uphold the Constitution, and then you turn around and redistrict her just for speaking out. And I think that that's wrong. And I think if you're in that district and you're a Democrat, you guys make sure that you vote for her in the next election and make sure that people get behind her, because this is just wrong. It's not right to use your presidential power to or whoever this was that redistrict the whole situation. I'm not sure if it was an executive order or what it was, but I think it's wrong to do that just because she was the only one really like being vocal and speaking out and really standing up for people to make sure that people just didn't like just ramshot, just rickshaw, just do whatever they want. Now what they're trying to do is just make it so that they get everybody to just be yes men. And we still have 3 more years to go. So
Yeah.
This is a very dangerous thing that's happening, and people need to pay attention to this type of stuff that's going on, because this is not, if you don't want to have a whole House or Senate that just agrees just for the sake of agreeing. You want to have people that's outspoken, that like says, okay, this ain't right. What's going on here? What is this? You don't want to have just a bunch of yes men in office in the Senate. So I really encourage, if you're in those districts that she has been put into now, please speak up and get everybody to vote. So that was my thing I wanted to say.
All right.
All right, Calvin, you want to take us home?
Yeah, I do want to take you home. I'll tell y'all this. Listen, everybody. Number one, we've started to do this show every week. We're here at about 2:00 every Sunday afternoon, 2:00 Texas time, 3:00 New York time. And we go generally for about a couple of hours. Me, Mel, Queen's always a guest on our show. DJ Genesis, of course, hooked us up. But we want y'all to go on to Watching the World 777 Mel's site. We put it on his YouTube channel. Mel has been great and gracious on having me on with him. He's a reporter, has been a follower of the Diddy trial. He sat through every single minute of testimony involving that case. He's a great person who actually goes into the courtroom and does the work to get into those places so that we can have those types of observations. We're trying to grow this to make this into a weekly show. We would love for you guys to log in every week, comment, subscribe, and show us some love. The other thing is, when it comes to me, I definitely give my legal opinion. Everybody may not agree with me. And it's great that you come on. If you don't agree with me, that's okay. But at the same time, let's be respectful. I say what I say, not just to be talking around my mouth. It's based off of my years in the courtroom and then my knowledge of these particular issues. And we really, really enjoy our people, normal folks just coming on here, growing our channel, watching our channel, getting the views up. Tell people about our show. I think this is a great time. I'm going to close with this. Once again, I'm always quoting Nipsey Hussle. And he said that the internet is like the gold rush. And when he said the gold rush, you don't know what the gold rush was in California back in the day. He said the internet is like the gold rush for us, and we gotta capitalize off that. And when I say that, we control the information. We control the ability to be able to jump on platforms like this and tell you the truth, while everybody else wants to play games with your emotions and want to play games with your intelligence. We're able to continue to come on here every week because of you. We want to make this a weekly show. And if y'all keep watching, we're going to keep coming. So once again, thank you, Queen. Thank you, DJ Genesis. And most importantly, thank you, Mel, for providing us the opportunity to do this. We love you. And we want to make sure that everybody likes, comments, and subscribes to this. One last thing, one last comment. I also do a podcast on the Ed Gray Show. The Commiss Show is one of our historical figures in the Dallas area. I do it on Saturdays at 3 p.m. I'll be on next Saturday talking about mental health. So next Saturday, 3 p.m., go on the Ed Gray Show, YouTube. Check us out. We're going to have some mental health professionals talking about Black men's mental health and talking about local elections and local politics. And so come over and join us then. But more importantly, enjoy this show, like this show, comment and subscribe to this show every Sunday, 2 p.m. Let's go. That's it.
Get it, get it, get it.
Yes.
Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Mel, what you got to say, big dog?
No, that was it. She was supposed to shut it out.
All right. So we're good, y'all. And once again, I'll see y'all next week. We'll be enjoying this. And once again, let's grow this show. Let's grow this talk. I love y'all. Let's continue to do what we do. And once again, it's on.